Remembered what I was saying before the other video got interrupted. I was going to say that there's some people like Bill Donahue who teaches that the archangels in the Bible are actually the archangels of your own perception. That's why they say you don't really see like angel wings, but you see like colors or whatever it is you see when you close your eyes, and they do come in physical form, manifested via electricity. It's kind of like what he talks about, that when you go into meditation, you're in electricity. You're sending an offering, you're transmitting, and hopefully Source picks up on that, or the angels pick up on that. So you're manifesting that way. But long story short, I'm getting back into why this is the end times. So the end of times, which means that we were warned of certain things that would take place on the planet or on this earth plane, wherever this really is, because we don't really know. And what people don't understand is that they don't want to wake up from their stream. They don't want to wake up and realize that we're living in a universe that has different species. We're living with, coexisting with other species, breeds of different types of things, and humans and non-humans, and what people consider aliens. We also have star systems here that have been visiting, different star systems that we've relocated here. There's also demonic spirits that dwell on this planet, on this earth plane, on this physical realm, that we were warned to not take part in, to beware of this, beware of that. Our ancestors dealt with something here, and we're still dealing with it, and people just think that, oh, it's in the Bible, it doesn't happen anymore. And we need to really wake up. I mean, I'm pretty awake. My name Alanna in Hawaiian means awake and enlightening. So I understand. There's so much more to learn, but what I'm saying is that many people, they don't even want to hear this. Oh, I don't want to hear it. It's too negative. I don't want to hear negative stuff. Well, you know what? I'm very positive, and I do my best to stay positive, but I'm not going to blind my eye to it, because children are dying. People are dying. And does it matter if we lose more people? No, I mean, not really. There's a lot of people here. But that's not God's work. That's not the work of holiness, of purity. It doesn't mean don't have fun and live life and eat crappy foods whenever you want to, or have sex, or whatever you do, but if your heart is pure, it's much different. You have to have a pure heart and return to that form. Have gratitude on your experience here. I gotta check the candle really fast. There's been so many times where I have lost candles or lost carpet because of the candle. But having a good heart, knowing that you're connected to a bigger purpose, and that your actions are connected to everybody else's, and you're not doing black magic on people. I mean, black magic is even thinking negative things about somebody, or wishing that they would lose at something. Like, we have to become pure in our thought form so we can stop manifesting sickness in the world. The sickness comes from the programs that were given to us. Each generation has their own set of programs. We are programmable people. Humans are programmable. We've been programmed. Our bloods, our DNA's been programmed. I can even get into the fact that our DNA, our 12-strand DNA, the lucky 12, right, they say we have junk DNA, but that's just our unactivated super senses, our genetic connection to divine source, where we have understanding of things, but we don't, because we have that cut off. So this is dying, of course. There's always something dying. It's also hard keeping up with all this technology and stuff, and I need time to write. I'm being told to write and share and do this stuff, but I'm not very good with the camera. I don't want to be exploiting myself to somebody on some TV station who just wants to make money off of advertising on my stuff. It's like, come on, this is why we're in the mess that we're in, is because people just want things. It's all about money. Unfortunately, we all want to be living the good life. I do, but okay, I spent today, watching stuff about clones, and I enjoy understanding the truth. I'm not scared of it, and I do everything to transmute it and send it into the light to be cleansed and purified through the Holy Spirit, the threefold flame of our divine being, that we really are free, sovereign, godly beings, and we are not here to idolize anyone, and anyone that's over here, down here, throwing their money around and acting like they're the best thing that ever hit this planet. Check yourself. Because it's one thing to be creative and dance, but when you're out making videos that are downright just, you are like, I'm talking about the Kanye West video. It's just so, it's a big game. Like, it's just like bluntly in front of people's face, and they don't even realize it. That this is all being projected on you, that this is all to brainwash the children, to brainwash everybody here, so that way we can't be healed. And it breaks my heart, but at the same time, I know that our mother and father who created us, our prime creator, didn't leave us down here to not learn our lesson. We have to be strong and hold on to our faith, because there will come a day. And all the trumpets have been gone off. All the seals have been sealed. The ones who are awake are already taking their place, and I can say it's still hard not to give into temptation of feeding into the darkness. And I can name off those dark qualities really easily, and you can recognize it. All of the dark energy agendas that have been programmed into people and the way they act and behave. I being one of them. And one day, when I'm comfortable enough, I will tell my story of how to prove that I know a lot of this stuff. But it's also on the internet. It's also in books all over. Just read. If you don't believe me, don't argue with me. Go read. Go look it up yourself. That's what I did. But I also have a gift of many things. So, it's fun when you learn to do it with good intention, because then you see beautiful things happen in your life. You meet beautiful people. Your experiences become more beautiful. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm not seeing enough people caring about this stuff. What I see is people mind controlled, under hypnosis, under a spell. And so it's just passion in me to share. And I know that when I speak to people, I see them change. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that I'm not scared to call myself out on my own bullshit. That I've done a lot of things, and, I've literally allowed myself to be tortured in certain ways because I didn't know how to break out of my own cell, my own mind control that I was under. The dysfunction, the distortions in relationships, the sexual distortions, the triggers from music that I would listen to, the beta sexual programming that's been programmed to me in my life, the way that money controls everything, and the programs that were given to us as women. And I'm not going to say that, just somebody came and programmed you, or the TV did it. There's just so many subtle ways that it happens to us, and then advertisements feed off of that because they know it happens. So some people like that it happens to us, that we're easily programmable, so they take advantage of that because we're innocent, because we're actually God's sovereign beings. And somebody, and not some one person, but different races could be. I'm not going to get into those things because I don't want to scare people. But, just look online, read, care a little bit. Going to Vegas and party is fun. I'm going to go next weekend. But I'm always on a mission to do something. Like, I'm never just a dumbhead on a Friday night, and unfortunately sexuality distorts that because it gets in the way and it creates roadblocks. And I just see all the roadblocks and the things that happen in my life that could have stopped me in my tracks from following my wake-up call. I can't wait to tell the stories that are more magical, that will prove to you or show you some of the writings that I have or things that I've found that can link everything together. Like, you know, Kabbalah, Tree of Life, and the tarot, and that stuff is not bad. You know, you can give this stuff to somebody who's a bad person, and they will make it bad. You give it to somebody who's good and pure, and they will help people see the truth. And it's not about looking into the future. I have no desire for that. Some people do that. They do it to suck you dry. Oh, you're going to get this, get that. Like, no. It's just synchronicity. It's teaching you how to pay attention to signs that the universe is interacting with you, because this is your life. You are the master of your universe. And there's so many laws that you don't understand. Not you in particular, but there's some people who don't. And I'm not trying to be righteous. I am working through my spiritual righteousness, and I don't want none of that either. You know, I listen to a lot of spiritual teachers. You know, Matt Kahn is great for teaching you how to not be spiritual arrogant. And I'm never telling you that you're wrong. I'm just telling you to pay attention to your triggers, to your own impulses. Like, where does it come from? Like, who are the voices in your head that tell you that you're bad? That's self-hatred. Because I've had self-hatred, and I don't know where it came from, because I came in here being really, like, I've had moments where I'm pretty, like, steady of who I am and what I want and what I'm doing, and then some days where I'm like, wait, what? And I don't feel like I have depression. I don't feel that I'm narcissistic. I don't feel like I have any type of dis-ease of the mind. I'm on a mission to figure out how the mind works, so I'm not controlled by whatever is running in there when it's not me. And what's going on in your dreams and my dreams. And, you know, there's a lot more. Like, I can get into, you know, more spiritual experiences. And I'm not the only one. That's what makes it more interesting, is that I meet tons of people and I have these stories or these similarities. And we're confused as a species, or as a, whatever we're doing on this planet. We're burning out. We're building and building and building and creating, which is beautiful, but there's also darkness being taken over because no one's saying, hey, stop it. Or, you know what, take that back. I'm going to stop saying no one's, because there's a lot of people who care. There's so many. That's why I'm talking right now, because I'm meeting them. I'm meeting people and seeing, like, people like Laura Eisenhower. Oh my God, she's amazing. Dr. Sarah Larson. I mean, there's so many people. There's all these healers that I know at my level. But I can imagine what else is out there. You know, Shelley Robinson. And I'd like to say that I've got my hands in a lot of different organizations and types of relationships with people who I believe are making a difference. And so I'm not saying that people are not doing it. I'm just saying that more people need to talk, which is why I'm talking, because what's the point of having all this light and not sharing it? Like, light is information. I'm shedding light on the darkness and places that you might not have paid attention to before. That you might have been controlled by something that's not really yours anymore. A belief system that just doesn't work with you. And there's been so many programs that I had to, like, literally eject. And we have to really speak like that in code. Like, key code this, delete, cancel, you know, all these different things. And it's just, like, exhausting to go through each program. And the more and more you get to be yourself, the more all your dreams start coming together, and you're weaving everything together. And you're seeing your behavior and why it's there. And you can just release it and let it go. And so it's easier said than done, but I know that I have a lot of stuff to work through still, and I have a lot going on in here, and a lot of things I'm doing here, and I'm figuring out the reasons why I came back here, and why this stuff even interests me. And it's because I'm here to tell people the truth. And it's my truth. So I've had many people who had their own truth that told stories, and I listened, and it changed my life. Because something clicked inside of me. And I took my mind and I opened it so I can be, you know, not so critical of everyone's opinions, and, you know, learn how to decipher what's real. And so I'm just doing that for you. Whoever's going to listen to this in the future, if it's just for me, I don't know. I never know in the moment. I just make it. And what I'm saying is that it might impact you to look up and research and see the mind control you're under, because, you know, it's sad. Some of the celebrities, they're not even, like, they're bad people who are in power. And they influence what you watch and what you see. And when I go online and I look at spiritual teachers and I see their views and their numbers are so much lower than the scum that's actually being promoted out there for everyone to see. And I'm not against creativity. I'm actually love creativity. And maybe a part of me wishes I would have went through with more performing and dancing and singing. And I do it. And you're right, not you're right, but I don't have a lot of the confidence that some of these girls have to really, like, rock out their body on camera. I think they're so hot and so beautiful, and I can dance. I could sing. But there's just something about knowing that I'm influencing people. So I'm more conscious of how I'm going to do it. And also, maybe if my body was hotter, I wouldn't thought twice. You know, there's just so many reasons why I had this life and the way I'm doing things. And perhaps I will perform and be sexy, because there's nothing wrong with being sexy, but being mind-controlled and sexy is scary. Not being conscious of what you're doing and being controlled because you're emotionally manipulated and you don't realize it because people know how to play games that you don't know how to play or break out of. And that's all I'm trying to say, is that I want to help everybody get out of their own programming that they're under. Their own programming that they don't even know why they're feeling what they're feeling, because it's not real. It's an illusion. Someone created for you. Someone, an entity. I have lots of sites for people who are interested to look it up, to understand this stuff. Because I don't want you to think I'm just talking out of my ass, though I do that a lot. I lived my life to study this stuff, and I knew that one day it was going to come in handy, and it will, and I will continue to share. And it's not about exposing. I wrote this earlier, that it's not about. It's more about protection rather than reaction. Love more than anger. Forgive rather than sulk about what it is that was done to you, because you feed that bad negative energy. But you want to acknowledge it and understand what it was supposed to show you, but not sulk. And to know that it's silly to think that you're not being watched some way, whether it's spiritual or government at this point, you know? We've been reincarnating here on this planet, or on this plane physically, for a long time, for like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and I know I'm really ancient. And so we need to see that we are ancient beings, and our DNA holds memories of our ancestors. And if it wasn't for all the frequency control that they've done on us, we would have a connection more to source. If it wasn't for all the perversions and twisted stuff that they've injected into our genetic memory and our consciousness, our collective consciousness, we would have more spiritual experiences, more divinity, more magic happening. But we haven't gotten out of the separation crisis. And these are the negative agenda behavior patterns, the deceptive patterns of behavior that have been taught to us throughout the ages. We were living in dark ages before, because we had ancient civilizations that have been destroyed for different reasons, because magic was abused, because crystals were abused, because the bloodlines, the holy bloodlines, were persecuted by darkness. Where did it come from? Was it here before us, or did we come, or who got here first? How did we get here? Were we created? Going into Sophia and wisdom and the tree of life. And there's so much to learn. But it's important to start learning, understanding your heritage and where you come from. And not just your last, parent you came from. I'm talking about, like, your genetic memory, your codes, what's in your DNA. Why are they trying to stop us so much? Why? Because we are powerful. I know I am. I know that I am definitely, I'm Holy Grail right here. And that we are the Holy Grail. We are the ones who are waking up. And, maybe you watch this video and you're like, this girl's crazy, or she's narcissistic, or she thinks things. I know, because I think that might be happening too. Sometimes I'm like, am I really crazy? No, I just don't. I would love to interview people and ask about me. What do you think about me? Because they will tell you interesting things, I'm sure. But I've been fragmented purposely. And I just want to tell those energies and those people who participated in those types of things that I forgive you. Because I know that I needed you to wake up and come down here so I can get to my real work. And I couldn't have done that without pain and suffering. And through that trial and error, did I still remain strong to my Creator and my divinity? Because I do claim sovereignty. I am the immaculate concept of my true God reality, now made manifest and sustained by holy grace. It always will be, and it always has been. I was never a slave. I came down here at free will. Although you may try to change my mind otherwise, to remain in this field of lies, but I do not realize this anymore. So I thank you, and I honor you for my lessons, and I release your energy. I transmute all of the pain that you've caused into the violet flame to be cleansed and purified. I renounce. And although I live in this matrix and I will use credit cards to get by and money and play the game of life, because I love my dear friends who live and play in this game of life and who are not awake yet. So I will stay here in this physical form, filled with light to share with everyone. Because that is my job. Because I claim my sovereign divinity. My connection to spirit, to nature, to all. I do not hate this world like you would try to teach. I love it, I honor it, and I know that Mother Earth, Pachamama, Sophia, you supply all that I need to sustain life. And I honor you and thank you. And if I knew more in what ways to which I could honor you, I would. I could do more. I can't wait to break out more and more. To be free more and more. To serve you. To serve the purpose of coming down here to help my brothers and sisters in their ascension process. To help them reawaken to their divinity again. Because magic lays dormant in all of us. And you will be fooled to thinking that magic is bad. But magic is intention. Magic is your word. It is your thoughts. It is the way you decide to speak to people and what you decide to share. Your influence of a child. What you choose to teach and share with others. That is what makes your magic. Because you have knowledge and you have wisdom and you manipulate people or you help them through. And you don't hide your truth of what you think is happening just to make them comfortable. You have to tell them the truth. You have to be honest. And at all possible, clear out and become transparent. Because your past is what holds you captive. If you allow your mistakes to control you. That's how they control you. Is by you believing that you have to be perfect to be loved. Believing all these different things, these different key codes that you had trapped inside of you. It's not people's fault that they taught you that. And it's not your fault for accepting it. It's just that's how it is. And so I just want to make it clear that my goal here is just that I know that we're still living in those magical prophetic times. There are books being read. I don't know how they controlled us enough to make us think that only one book has all the say-so. Your book has say-so. My book has say-so. We are walking magic. We are walking magic, people. We are spirit here. And so I want to help people get into their divinity and break away from the attachments that have been made and the bondage that have been put on us. I am not afraid of it. I will look the devil in the face and say, may you be blessed. I don't care to be righteous. I care to be a good person, to be